The U.S. Open, graced with a long history. And so, Tennis Channel presents U.S. Open Classics, the start-to-finish story of epics that linger in our minds and endure in our hearts, all set amid the hustle and bustle of New York City. U.S. Open Classics, next on Tennis Channel. Today's featured match, the Spirit of '76, the 1976 U.S. Open Men's Final. Bjorn, the Swedish icon with ice water in his veins, against the over-the-top passion of Jimmy Connors. High stakes, high intensity, high energy. All the highs that define a U.S. Open Classic. Coming up next on Tennis Channel.
Yes. Oh, and that's just too good.
Biggest shot of this match by far.
Using the hitting there.
Welcome to a Tennis Channel special U.S. Open Classics. I'm Kevin Frazier. You know, the rivalry between Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg was a sparkling contrast pitting fire versus ice. It was attack versus attrition, and two men who at the time really stood head and shoulders above anyone else in the sport. As Connors and Borg took the court to play in the 1976 U.S. Open final, each really had something to prove. Connors was eager to reclaim the U.S. Open title that he'd won 2 years earlier. Borg, meanwhile, had just won his first Wimbledon, and he wanted to conclusively wrestle away the world's #1 ranking from Connors. All right, let's join commentators Pat Summerall, Tony Traber, and Arthur Ashe for the 1976 U.S. Open men's singles final between Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg.
An absolutely perfect day in New York as you look down on Forest Hills, and the stadium is packed. It has been since noon today. And good afternoon to you. I'm Pat Summerall with two gentlemen who have won this championship in past years, Arthur Ashe and Tony Traber. I wonder, Arthur, first of all, if you have any final thoughts about the match coming up between Borg and Connors.
Well, Pat, I think this is going to be a contest of fire and ice. The fire of Jimmy Connors, the ice, the inner calm of Bjorn Borg. And I think we're going to see a match with Connors hitting lots of machine gun-like shots, and obviously Bjorn Borg hitting shots that are more akin to mortars. It's going to be up and down all day.
Great description. What do you think, Trey?
I'll take the puncher and the counter puncher. Connors is going to be hitting it deep and trying to hit it hard. He's going to be trying to take the short ball and attack off of it. On the other hand, Borg is going to try to rally. I don't think he'll come to net too often. And he's going to hope to pass Connors when he comes to the net. And I'm on record as picking Connors. I think he's sharp. I think he's played extremely well. And I think he can do it here in the finals.
I think in fairness, we talked so much yesterday about the wind factor, how much the wind blew. Today, it doesn't seem to be quite as strong. I wonder if that makes you change your opinion of what might, who the conditions might favor, Arthur.
Well, Pat, I think the wind is going to affect Jimmy Connors a lot more. But then again, Connors hits the ball after it stays in his racket a long time. Borg hits the ball with a lot of spin. Usually the wind affects the ball with spin a lot less because it's heavier and it stays truer on the flight path. But then again, it's really not the direction so much. It's the swirl of the wind that really comes into play here. And the wind here at the center court at Forest Hills goes around in circles.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for your opinions. And we are waiting now for the arrival of the two participants, Jimmy Connors, the #1 seed, and Bjorn Borg, who was seeded #2.
If you've got one of these, you probably use these to keep them healthy. But why? When you can get these. They're exactly the same brand name medications, but these cost a lot less because they're from 1-800-PET-MEDS. With 1-800-PET-MEDS, you save a trip to the vet too, because they're delivered free, right to your door, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Millions of pet owners trust 1-800-PET-MEDS for fast service, free shipping, and big savings. Call now or order online from 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy.
Stop torturing yourself and wasting money. Introducing the all-new Shark Steam Pocket Mop. One revolutionary product that cleans every hard surface floor in your home easier, faster, and better than ever. 100% guaranteed. It's double-sided secret Shark Steam Pocket technology. Fill it with plain tap water. Then with every push, superheated steam automatically fills the steam pocket and is released through both sides to clean and sanitize floors in one step. Your floors dry almost instantly. And simply flip the pocket to clean twice the area. Erase the toughest grime. Liquefy the stickiest spills. Terminate bathroom germs instantly. 3 snap-on double-sided cleaning heads, each swivel 180 degrees. The standard head tackles cooking spills to dirty mudrooms. It even cleans stair treads and risers. The triangular head effortlessly cleans and sanitizes bathrooms. The extra large head makes quick work of the largest rooms.
I love the Steam Pocket Mop. If you're cleaning your floors any other way, you're making a mistake.
The washable, reusable Steam Pockets mean no more expensive chemical cleaning pads. Try the Shark Steam Pocket Mop floor cleaning system for just 5 easy payments of only $29.99 with our 60-day money-back guarantee. Plus, order now and we'll even take off one payment and include these professional upgrades free. A jumbo water reservoir and 30-foot cord let you clean up to 2,800 square feet. The telescoping handle adjusts to fit anyone. Plus, we'll include the double-sided steam duster for dusting, cleaning, polishing, and sanitizing hardwood. It even cleans baseboards. But wait, be one of the first 300 callers and get a free carpet glider to freshen and deodorize rugs. Get it all for just 4 monthly payments of only $29.99. The Shark Steam Pocket Mop will clean and sanitize all your hard surface floors faster, easier, and better than anything else, guaranteed. Or your money back. Have your credit card ready and call or go online now.
The participants have arrived. And a crowd that's been waiting in anticipation all day long gets its first look at Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg, number 1 seed against number 2 seed. It worked out for the men just like it worked out for the women when Chris Everett, the number 1 seed, defeated the number 2 seed, Ivan Gulagon. That doesn't necessarily mean that the number 1 seed's going to win this, however.
From a tournament standpoint, Pat, you're just delighted to have your number 1 and 2 seeds reach the finals. It sort of justifies the seedings, and it also means that you're going to have what the officials feel are the best 2 players playing in the finals. And, of course, you have that in this case in the men's finals just as you had it in the women's finals yesterday. Absolute ideal day for tennis. As you mentioned, Pat, the breeze is not as difficult. There is some breeze, but I don't think it'll be a big factor at all if it stays the way it is. Temperature is good, Arthur, and no humidity, so I don't think physically that should really be a problem. Do you?
Not really, Tony, but I, with my tongue in my cheek, disagree with having the 1st and 2nd seeds in the final. I'd rather be out there myself.
Wow. Absolutely.
I was seated number 7 and didn't quite make it, but nobody's...
30,000 or 15, I'd like to be there myself also, but these are the facts. We have Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg. There you see Connors toweling off, and again, I can't help but relate to when I played here in the championship. There just was not as much hullabaloo. There were perhaps as many people for the finals, certainly not nearly as many people in the earlier rounds, but the players had a difficult time getting out through the marquee. I'm sure they had a difficult time even getting from the clubhouse, which is some 200 or 300 yards from the center court.
Great shot, just a gorgeous shot from the Goodyear blimp overhead, looking down at the 10-plus acres that make up the West Side Tennis Club. And the Goodyear blimp, of course, is almost always with us for whatever big event we might be covering. There she is, the Mayflower. Piloted today by Captain Chuck LeBeau. Nice steady day up there today, and that picture would indicate that it is. From the Goodyear blimp, the hard-true court at the stadium at Forest Hills, Borg loosening up from the far end now. Connors down here. Borg dressed in the red warm-up jacket. Long sleeves if you're not watching in color. Connors with his back to you in the sleeveless sweater.
Pat, you know, I think this is a perfect time for me to describe what I think is a new breed of tennis player. Whoever may want to invest some dollars and time, and they're composed of Vilas, Borg, Connors, and Nastasi. And what distinguishes them from the rest of the lot, including myself, really, is that they have begun to travel with an entourage. For the first time, I think that's a tennis first. Borg, of course, has his Davis Cup captain, Leonard Bergen, who used to be a good player in his own right. Connors with Segura, his girlfriend, Miss World, not too bad. 2 bodyguards. Vilas, his father, a trainer, a coach, anybody else who speaks Spanish, you may want to come along.
We'd like to welcome those of you who've been watching the Giants and the Redskins to Forest Hills, New York, on a beautiful afternoon in Queens, just across the East River from Manhattan. And while the boys, men, whatever you'd like to call them, warm up, let me bring you up to date on what else has happened this afternoon. First of all, just completed a few moments ago before Borg and Connors came out, the women's doubles championship went to the South African team of Linky Bashov and Elena Kloss. They defeated Virginia Wade and Olga Morozova of the Soviet Union. The scores were 6-1 and 6-4. Then earlier, in fact, just before that, Billie Jean King and Phil Dent defeated Betty Stova and Fru McMillan for the mixed doubles championships. Scores in that were 3-6, 6-2, and 7-5. And the men's doubles earlier today also, Marty Reeson and defeated what had become the Cinderella team of this tournament, Paul Crunk and Cliff Letcher of Australia. The scores there were 6-4 and 6-4. That pretty well brings you up to date. Gives me a chance to ask Tony Travert, as we watch Connors and Borg loosen, how much those doubles championship really mean to the players.
Well, Pat, I think they mean a great deal. Long after people remember who has won the singles, will they remember the doubles? You know, the doubles is sort of a personal thing. Perhaps I didn't say that correctly, but what I'm really saying is if you win the singles at Wimbledon, everyone remembers. If you win the doubles, you have to be a tennis aficionado to remember over a period of time. But as a player, I personally wanted to win as many doubles titles as I could, not for money necessarily, but for the prestige, the accomplishment, the pride. And I also had a partner many times that was not perhaps having quite the success that I was having, and I felt it was very important for him. And so I think they're very important.
Add to that, I suppose, a little enjoyment, too.
Oh, no question about that. And again, you take fellas like Cronk and Letcher. They did not do well in the singles, and here they are in the finals of the doubles of the U.S. Open. That's a tremendous accomplishment.
Hopefully, as the afternoon passes, and we'll be on till 7 o'clock, we'll be able to bring you highlights of some of those doubles matches. And believe me, there was some great tennis. Right now, you're looking at Forest Hills, and we're waiting for the singles championship.
You see, it's not just telling people Geico could save them hundreds on car insurance. It's actually doing it. Businessmen say hard work equals success. Well, you're looking at arguably the world's most successful business gecko. First rule of business, hard work equals success. That's why Geico is consistently rated excellent in terms of financial strength. Second rule, don't steal a co-worker's egg salad, especially if it's marked the gecko. Come on, people.
I love my abdominals, yes. I love my belly. I love my abdominals.
My husband, he can hardly keep his hands off of me.
Favorite part of my body is definitely my abs, and that's the best part.
The secret to results like these is the Bender method of core training, developed by master trainer Leslie Bender.
She's an inspiration.
This is an amazingly great program.
Leslie's secret weapon to sculpted abs is this small ball, the Bender ball, that Leslie uses to target your abs in ways that you couldn't do otherwise.
What you see in the gym is people are just doing a gazillion crunches, and they don't know why they're not getting results. With a regular crunch on the floor, you're limited. You can only go forward. You can't go back. With a Bender ball, you're getting extension and flexion.
Each of Leslie's ab sculpting moves puts you in perfect position. Combined with her effective method of selective stabilization, it cranks up the intensity and targets the muscles you want from all sides. Your upper abs, the sides, and those hard-to-reach lower abs to give you a workout that's up to 408% more effective than ordinary crunches, so you can sculpt beautiful abs fast.
It's quick, it's right to the point, gets right to the abs.
And now, for only $19.99, you can have the incredible Bender ball and Leslie's amazing video, the Bender method of core training.
I've gotten such good results that I would never go back to regular crunches.
You will see results quickly, and that's the best part.
But it gets even better. Call now and you can get this amazing program for only $9.99. Plus, we'll include a bonus video, the Bender Method Buns and Thighs, your free gift just for ordering. Altogether, this is a $40 value, but yours right now for only $9.99.
You're gonna really like the way you look.
Call 1-800-928-1543. That's 1-800-928-1543. Call now.
On my right is Stan Molest, the president of USTA, and on my left, Barry Frank, the vice president of CBS Sports, who has what I think is a very important announcement to make.
Well, we believe it's a very important announcement, Pat. CBS Sports is delighted to say today that we have renewed the United States Tennis Championships for 3 more years on CBS. We're particularly proud because we believe that the U.S. Open is the highlight of the tennis year, and we're just delighted that we're going to see it here on CBS for 3 more years, Stan.
Well, thank you, Barry. Of course, the U.S. Tennis Association is also happy, particularly insofar as you plan to also include the U.S. Clay Court Championships in Indianapolis and the following year, the U.S. Indoors.
Gentlemen, that is great news. Thank you both very much.
One question for Stan. Everybody on our staff, Stan, has taken a guess as to who's going to win today. What's your guess?
In the men's singles?
In the men's singles.
Well, you can never guess, but I always hate to go against Connors.
Seems like that's everybody's opinion. Thank you again very much.
Thank you.
Their final warm-ups, Connors in the near court, Borg in the far court. Tony Travert, Arthur Ashe, any final thoughts as we start to get this thing underway?
Go ahead. Sorry, Tony.
I guess you do, don't you?
No, I guess I do. I guess we all do. But Pat and Tony, I expect Connors to come out like Joe Frazier.
Smoking?
Yes, and I expect Borg to be just like he always has been. Stoic, calm, but well in control of the situation.
I was just going to say that it's sweaty time. I'm nervous and excited, and I hope it's a great match. That was the umpire, John Coleman, starting the match.
Borg, far court serving. Connors banging away from this end.
Well, here we go.
That's what he did to Vilas all day yesterday.
They're out of the starting gate. Very powerful shot from the baseline.
You know, I don't think people realize how it is on this kind of a surface, a slow surface, to hit a ball from baseline to baseline that hard where you can really handcuff your opponent.
Double break point for Connors.
What Vilas said yesterday after he played Connors, he hit everything 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, he said when a guy hits it at you 200, you can't hit it 400 back.
I think those single extrusion metal rackets, one of which Connors is playing with, enable you to do that. You cannot do that with a wooden racket. You can't get that trampoline effect, which you get with those single extrusion rackets. And Borg is playing with a wooden racket.
Still break.
30-40.
Borg pulled really a surprise tactic by serving and coming in, and it worked for him.
Lifetime record, by the way, is 5-1 Connors, 2-0 this year for Connors.
That's advantage Borg.
Advantage Borg.
You know, Pat, I'm a firm believer in almost forgetting statistics and lifetime records when you get into a championship like this, because it's sort of who gets it going right on the given day. And at this stage,
Bjorn Borg. Borg has won the first game. First set. The finals of the U.S. Open Championships from
Game,
Forest
Mr.
Hills,
Borg.
New York.
Mr. Borg wins the first game.
If you plan on building, furnishing, or remodeling your home, or you're just tired of paying retail, don't spend another dollar. Now, you can enjoy an incredible selection of top quality name brand products priced up to 50% less than retail. Take the first step towards saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars on nearly anything for your home. Call for your free Direct Buy Insider's Guide to Buying Direct and learn what retailers don't want you to know. Each full color page of the Insider's Guide is packed with powerful information. Discover some of the hundreds of thousands of products available from over 700 name brand manufacturers. Everything, including furniture, cabinets, appliances, flooring, lighting fixtures, and so much more. Without retail markups. At Direct Buy, you can't afford to miss this valuable opportunity. Call the number on your screen now to get your own Direct Buy Insider's Guide. You'll also receive a visitor's pass and map to the Direct Buy showroom nearest you. The sooner you call, the sooner you'll be buying direct. So call now.
Count down 5 of the most unforgettable moments in tennis history on each episode of Best of 5. Go to tennischannel.com for the complete schedule. Children around the world admire and emulate their favorite tennis stars. But whom did today's pros look up to when they were kids?
I've been looking up to Ivan Lendl. You know, in those times he was just a great tennis player, and I think he brought the professionalism to the sport.
My idol was Steffi Graf all the time. She's the best player ever.
I like very much Rafter. I think the play on the net, Liebo. I don't play like this, so it's a little strange.
I really looked up to Monica Seles, actually, because I liked her style. She was very aggressive. I actually got to hit with her when I was 10 years old, and so that was a big moment in my career, too, when I was in Minnesota. And so she's always been an idol for me. And, you know, she was always fun to watch. She was just so aggressive, and she grunted loud. I mean, it was pretty intimidating, I think, to play her.
You're watching Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
Borg won the first game. This is the first point of the second game when Connors served. That makes it 15 love.
15 love.
There's ice.
There it is. Personification of it right there.
Bjorn Borg.
Well, Connors, Tony, is starting out just as I thought he would, going for the lines. And he's having a little bit of a problem right now. I think it's got to be nervousness on the part of both players.
I'm sure that's the case, Arthur. I've always felt as a player that you want to play that first game or two carefully, rally quite a bit, get loosened up, get relaxed. Of course, Connors, like you say, likes to smoke it right off the bat. That kind of a shot has to make the weekend player happier. Fell in the finals U.S. Open like Borg. Didn't get a bad bounce. He just took his eye off of it and mishit it and barely got the ball to the net.
And he's supposed to have the world's best forehand. That only missed by half an inch.
20, 15.
He's going to make a few of those before this match is over.
Oh, that you could count on. He's going to make a bunch of them. I think the question is he going to make a higher percentage of those than Connors makes either winners or can handle the volley coming in, putting the pressure on?
Playing at 40-15. Just out.
40, 30.
I think an important thought, too, is that you're not going to really discourage either one of these players, regardless of the situation. Whatever the score becomes, they are not going to throw in that sponge.
Makes it 1-all.
Games are 1-all. First set.
Last year, Connors defeated Borg 7-5, 7-5, 7-5. Indicate how closely they played last year.
Yes. Tony, one thing's for sure, these first two games, we're always going to have to start hitting the ball deeper. For it to bounce around the service line is not enough, because Connors got his practice yesterday against Vilas, hitting those balls back. There, it has to land there. Change of pace. Yes. Jimmy is in the zone right now.
Love 30.
He is timing that topspin perfectly.
It was wide.
By about a foot.
30.
And I think, basically speaking, Connors will not be unhappy if Borg decides to attack the net. He does not always come in on good shots, and also he's not really an excellent volleyer.
Yes. Looks like I might be saying yes up here all day.
15-40.
And it's double break point for Connors. He had double break point in the first game of this match on Borg's serve. Borg got out of it. Let's see if he can do it again.
That was not intentional.
No, that's for sure. He just sure took his eye off of it.
Still break point. It's 40-30. Beg your pardon, 30-40.
That's gone.
Connors took a long look as one of his shots caught the
Game
line
to Connors.
and skidded into
Mr.
Borg.
Connors leads.
But nevertheless,
2
Connors
games
leads
to
2 games to 1.
First set.
Do aches, pains, and arthritis have you in their grip? Break the grip with Aspercream Heat Gel. Extra strength medicine delivers penetrating heat relief without embarrassing odor. Fast pain relief that keeps you going for hours. Aspercream, break the grip of pain.
Finding smart investments these days takes a keen eye for value. Opportunities are out there if you know where to look. Mutual Series from Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Hi, it's Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a regular towel doesn't work wet. This works wet or dry. This is for the house, the car, the boat, the RV. ShamWow holds 12 times its weight in liquid. Look at this. It just does the work. Why do you want to work twice as hard? Doesn't drip. Doesn't make a mess. Wring it out. You wash it in the washing machine. Made in Germany. You know the Germans always make good stuff. You can cut it in half. Use one as a bath mat. Drain your dishes with the other one. Use one as a towel. Olympic divers, they use it as a towel. Look at that. Completely dry. Put a wet sweater. Roll it up. It dries your sweaters. Here's some cola. Wine, coffee, cola, pet stains. Not only is the damage going to be on top, there's your mildew. That is going to smell. See that? The most of, we're going to do this in real time. Look at this. Put on the spill. Turn it over. Without even putting any pressure, 50% of the cola right there. You follow me, camera guy? The other 50%, the color starts to come up. No other towel is going to do that. It acts like a vacuum. And look at this. Virtually dry on the bottom. See what I'm telling you? ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time.
I can't live without it. Oh my gosh, I don't even buy paper towels anymore.
If you're going to wash your cars or any kind of vehicle, you'd be out of your mind not to own one of these.
All I can say is ShamWow.
You're going to spend $20 every month on paper towels anyway. You're throwing your money away. The mini ShamWows are for everything, for everyday use. This lasts 10 years. This lasts a week. I don't know, it sells itself. The ShamWow sells for $19.95, but you get one for the house, one for the car, two for the kitchen and bathroom. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because we can't do this all day, we'll give you a second set absolutely free. So that's 8 ShamWows for $19.95. Comes with a 10-year warranty. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-664-2056. That's 1-800-664-2056. ShamWow is made in Germany, and this offer is not available in stores. Beware of ShamWow imitators. Call 1-800-664-2056. That's 1-800-664-2056. Call now.
Connors serving. He leads 2-1, first set.
Well, Tony, I don't see that very often. A backhand drop shot from Jimmy Connors. Obviously, but Bjorn is playing about 2 yards behind the baseline, so why not give it a try? Tony, let me, and I hope you agree with me, cue the viewers on what I think Connors is trying to do. I think Segura, his coach, is trying to tell him to hit the ball with a lot of underspin so the ball will stay low. Just long, just long.
Arthur, I agree with you, and in the process, he doesn't care if he hits it short, because
It
in
doesn't
fact,
matter.
if he hits it short, he might even be better off, because with a two-hander reaching way in front, Borg is not as effective. No two-handers as effective, and of course, Pancho Segura knows that well because he hit a two-hand forehand all his life.
So Connors is going to be chipping away with those heavily underspin forehands cross court to do two things: to try to make Borg commit himself to the backhand side and render his topspin pretty ineffective.
First serve was a let.
Yes. A perfect example of that underspin forehand crosscourt by Connors, which opened up the court and left the forehand side open for a winner.
That makes it 30-all.
And also, Borg's return was short, and Connors gets several feet inside the baseline. There is Pancho Segura, right in the middle, very intently watching this match.
Pretty fair player himself, wasn't he?
Oh, he was tough. I played many, many matches against him, and he was always tough to beat.
Interesting, I thought they said that yesterday, before the match with Vilas, they mapped out the strategy in the car on the way out here.
Right. Break point for Vilas. Try and get even at 2-all in the first set.
Left.
They said they did it on a napkin in the
Right.
car coming to the tennis.
First service.
At that point, you know, Pat, you don't come up with a lot of intricate strategy. It's just really a good soft or two, just almost a reminder.
Borg in the far court, Connors near you. Games are 2-all. Looking to win again.
Connors set up for the kill here, and he pulled it a little bit too much and hit it about a foot into the alley. And I think a perfect example of what we mentioned, the puncher and the counter puncher. Now we're back live, 2-all, Borg serving.
Too good.
You know, Arthur, I think that was a perfect example of the difference in these two players. I don't think Connors has to worry as much about Borg trying to sneak in on the short ball or the floater, but Borg will always have to worry about Connors coming in off the short ball or if he loops it up in the air. Much more pressure on Borg.
You're right, Tony, and it's going to force Bjorn to hit his topspin deeper. Unless he gets it deeper, he's in trouble.
When you're playing a player that runs you out of position and you know he might come forward, you have to really try to take a chance. But if he's not going to come forward, you just try to get it back in play, hopefully deep, because he's not going to come in and take it early on you.
15-all. Borg comes to the net. Now goes back.
Good night, oh.
Connors seems to have been a little bit cautious about coming into the net, I suppose because of his great respect for Borg's passing shots.
Now Connors comes in on the ball, forces the very short return, and Connors bounces it up into the crowd to make sure Borg can't get to it. Now we're back to live action. It's 15-30, Borg serving. 2-all in the first set.
Well, Tony, I think the strategy here for Connors also is just to go to the backhand side.
And it's double break point for Connors. I was going to ask you, Arthur, quickly, off the ground, forehand and backhand, Borg apparently seems stronger on the forehand side.
Definitely.
And Connors?
Much stronger on the backhand side.
Meaning the two-hander?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 15-4. Still break point.
Now, that might have looked like a very poor attempt at a shot by Connors, but in fact what he was trying to do is roll the ball softly, short, pull off a bit of an angle, get Borg out of court, and bring him forward. He just didn't make the shot.
There is Jimmy's one big weakness right there. The forehand approach shot. He doesn't quite know where the range is.
Particularly when it's low, and Arthur, it seems to me that he misses it into the net much more frequently than he misses it long.
Over the baseline, you're correct. But I think we all have trouble with that.
Score is deuce.
Tony, right there, to me, is the key to beating Connors. You have to get him to commit himself on the backhand side, and then go short to the forehand. Bjorn has not as yet been able to do that very effectively. He's hanging on, but just barely right now.
Yes. Oh, that's a pretty good winner there. And the difference, really, is at that time Connors took it before it got too high. He was able to go over the ball, and the previous point when he missed it, he let it get higher and he had to go under it, and it sort of took off on him a little bit.
He likes to take the ball on the rise, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Now, Tony, to me, Jimmy has been dominating this match in the points, but it's 2-all and an advantage to Borg.
by Connors doesn't pay off.
We'll return to the West Side Tennis Club with more championship tennis after this word from your local station.
Mr. Borg leads. 3 games.
I think it was the Sunday styles that brought us together.
I think it was the weekend review. Getting the times delivered for me, well, that's really the best part of the weekend. That's why I love the Weekender.
It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday subscription that puts you in the center of the conversation.
The depth and breadth of reporting, the insight.
Call the 800 number and you save 50%.
Just $5.20 a week delivers the world to your home.
It's the best deal around.
How many sections are you fluent in?
I'm fluent in 3 sections, actually. Business, travel, the book review.
Sunday styles.
You call the toll-free number and you save 50%.
He likes the deal.
I do.
I just went to Spain and the travel section helped me plan my trip.
So you call the 800 number and you save 50%.
50% off home delivery? Fantastic.
The best journalists in the world work for the Times, and there's no debating that.
So call now. Get the conversation going.
Get the Weekender for as low as $5.20 a week. Call 1-800-988-6400 and be part of a great conversation.
I'll trade you the magazine for the book review.
Deal.
She was America's sweetheart with a killer instinct on the court.
I was willing to just stay out there all day to win the point.
Only at the Open, Chris Evert premieres tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Anastasia, and welcome to Yoga for Tennis. To have a crystal clear mind is very important to a tennis player. Sometimes you need to get yourself back into the match, rethink the situation. This is where yoga offers a wonderful solution, a simple breathing exercise. You can do it while sitting on the sidelines, or while standing, or even while walking. Close your eyes and inhale through the nose slowly on the count of 4. Then exhale through the nose slowly on the count of 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Do this exercise for 8 inhalations and 8 exhalations, and your mind will be crystal clear to win that next match. For more tips and DVDs, visit tennischannel.com/yoga for tennis.
I'm Nick Bollettieri, and you're watching Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
Games are 2-3 in the first set.
You know, Pat, already Borg has done something was not able to do against Connors, and that's break his serve.
Right.
We'll see a lot more of those on both sides, I'm sure.
Business World, Margie Wallace on the left, and the red striped shirt right there is the women's champion, Chris Evert.
She shows me a lot of class, Pat. I'm sure everyone knows that she and Jimmy were very close at one stage, engaged to be married and so forth. She has the courage to come out and watch. I'm sure she wants to see Jimmy win. She also wants to see good tennis.
Well, he picked her to win yesterday. Of course you did. Score is 40-15. Games are 2-3.
Two, 3, 40-15, first set. Connors serving to Bjorn Borg.
Goodbye.
So it's 3-all.
Game for Mr. Connors.
You know,
Coming up next Saturday at 4:30 on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the World Junior Middleweight Championship featuring Emil Griffith and And Eckhart's Doggy, the Woodward Handicap, the Dutch Grand Prix. That's all on CBS next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now on CBS, U.S. Open Tennis Championships from Forest Hills. Borg against Connors. Games are 3-all first set.
Took that one too high. Almost impossible to hit topspin that high.
Arthur, would you agree with me that when you're playing someone that's a steady type player like a Borg, that you might have a great effect on him if you rush him a little bit, take a return to serve and charge, and attack quite a bit?
You're exactly right, but there's only one Bjorn Borg.
And there's only one Jimmy Connors.
Here it is again in slow motion.
Let's take a look to see what Connors does with his two-hander, an approach by Borg, and he not only rips it all his might, it hits inside of the service line right in the corner. Now we're back to live action, and that one went down the line, and it's triple break point for Connors.
Speaking of live action, that was pretty live.
Looks like he's hitting the ball just as hard as he possibly physically can. You think he is?
I do. I really do, particularly on the two-handed side. He just turns those shoulders. There it is. Jimmy Connors has broken serve for the second time in this set. Borg has broke once, so Jimmy Connors leads 4-3 in the first set. This is the best of 5 sets, the U.S. Open Championships.
Millions have lost weight on the South Beach Diet, and now it's supercharged for even faster weight loss at southbeachdiet.com.
I get to eat delicious food while losing weight.
SouthBeachDiet.com makes it so easy to lose weight.
With South Beach Diet Supercharged, you'll rev up your metabolism so you'll lose weight even faster.
It's the easiest and the most delicious diet I've ever been on.
I've lost 33 pounds.
Go to southbeachdiet.com today and start losing weight with 7 days of the new South Beach Diet Supercharged absolutely free.
Hi, it's Fitz with Slap Chop. You're going to be in a great mood all day because you're going to be slapping your troubles away with the Slap Chop. Now look, here's a potato. 1 slap, you got big chunks for stews. 2 slaps, home fries in a second. You add a mushroom, the more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades. You love salad, you hate making it. Take the stringy celery, take the carrots, salad. I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. Throw it on top of the pizza. This tuna looks boring. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. Here's a hard-boiled egg. 1 chop, you add the pickle, you add the green onion. And then what you can do, you can mix things together. You add the ham. You don't have time to make breakfast. You're going to have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this. You can do everything in the cover. It's so easy. 1 finger. Kids can do it. They're going to charge you $1 for toppings at the ice cream stores. What about fruit? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful on your ice cream? It's so easy to clean. 1, 2. And pops open like that, like a butterfly to clean. Now, these other ones that you've seen in the store, you can't clean it. It doesn't open up. Bacteria gets in the food. You don't want bacteria in your food, right, guys? Forget about that. Take this Slap Chop onion with the skin, all right? This is making you cry, making me cry. Life's hard enough as it is. You don't want to cry anymore. The skin's at the bottom. Hey, look, so you want a little bit of onions, you don't want to drag out the food processor, the skin comes right off. We're going to make America skinny again. 1 slap at a time. When you buy the Slap Chop, we're going to give you the grady for cheese. White cheese, yellow cheese in the container. Twister. And watch this, tacos, fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini. Comes with 2 blades, just bang it. Fine and coarse, Parmesan. Comes with a cover, stay sealed. Put it in the fridge, take it out when you need it. The Slap Chop sells for $19.95, and we're gonna give you the grady absolutely free. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because you know we can't do this all day.
We'll double the offer. Just pay separate shipping and handling. So that's 2 sets for $19.95.
Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-637-6683. Call now and you get the grady absolutely free with the Slap Chop. When you call, ask about our foldable cutting board. That's 1-800-637-6683. 1-800-637-6683. Call now.
After his second service break, Connors to serve at 4-3. First set.
15 love
Jimmy's now gesturing to a linesman, I think.
No, he's some kids underneath the backdrop in the back, and he
all
sees
the time,
movement.
yes.
He sees movement
The
under
feet.
there, and I think they have a couple of kids under there to get balls that go underneath, but the youngsters hear all the excitement and want to peek out and watch, and I think he just saw a little movement.
Whatever, it's on now. Scores 15-love.
Too hard. And gone also, Pat, is the wind that we spent 15 seconds talking about to open the match. There is no wind on the center court now. None at all. It's hardly blowing. Bjorn really ripped that backhand cross court.
It is 15-30.
That time it backfired on Connors because he was baiting Borg to come in. He hit a softball and a short ball, and Borg really nailed it, as Arthur said. And it was too tough a ball to Connors to handle, really get it down where he wanted it.
Connors leading 4-3 in the first set. It's the best 3 of 5. First serve is a let.
You know, if you had to talk about the physical aspects, Connors should be fresher because he has had easier getting to the finals than Borg.
Got it.
Let's take a look again and watch Connors turn those shoulders and rip that ball. Now he gets... I think Borg does a fantastic job to get it back, but there's no way he can recover. Connors takes a short backswing and strokes it with topspin into the open court.
Score is 30 all.
Right in the corner. And Pat, what really made that effective was that ball had no pace on it. Bjorn had to generate all of his own pace in that shot, and he couldn't give any direction to it.
40-30. Connors already leads 4-3. Picture perfect.
Tony, I gotta say here that much more is at stake rather than the U.S. Open tennis championships. What's also at stake is the battle for the #1 spot for this year.
In the world.
In the world.
That's a big place.
Not much room there.
Sure isn't.
Arthur, you've won so many major championships. Which one means the most to you?
Well, the Davis Cup, really. That was my first big one.
Well said.
Right in the corner.
15 all.
Tony, right now I want to mention briefly Bjorn Borg's racket. He's playing with a wooden racket and it's strung about as tight as you can possibly get it, about 85 pounds. So he really has to physically exert himself to get the ball to go.
You know, Arthur, I've heard that so many times. It's just hard for me to believe that a wooden racket will withstand 80 or 85 pounds of pressure or a gut.
But it doesn't very long.
No, and you know, I just wonder if you really test it, would it be that tight? I think he certainly has it as board tight as he can get it.
And he wrong-footed Jimmy on that shot.
It's 40-30. 40-30.
I guess that's the right expression. At least we use it on the court.
Wrong-footed?
Wrong-footed.
I think it's right. So the story in the first set has Jimmy Connors 5.
Game for Mr. Borg.
Games, that is, Bjorn Borg 4. The U.S. Open Championships.
First set, you Borg.
Soon there'll be 1 trillion connections in the world.
Can you hear them?
Food is talking to store shelves.
Cargo containers are talking to supply chains.
Power lines are talking to the grid. Now that's smart. Systems that allow carrots to tell truck drivers how fresh they are.
Roads alert cars about traffic patterns.
Cars alert mechanics before they break down.
When things communicate,
systems connect.
When systems connect, the world gets smarter. That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer. Let's build a smarter planet.
You can't avoid the heat, but now you can beat it with Polar Snap, the amazing new self-cooling towel that gets cold in seconds and stays cold for hours. This towel is going to go from about 120 degrees to about 55 degrees using just water. We're going to put it into this steaming hot water. Now, you don't need hot water. You can use any water, tap water, ocean water. It doesn't matter. That's hot.
That's hot,
Yeah,
yes.
that's hot. All you do is wet it, wring it, and snap it.
This is amazing. Now, just a minute ago, this towel was steamy hot, and as we're talking, cooler. I just wish everybody could feel this.
Polar Snap has a triple patented fabric weave system that actually soaks the water into the inner parts of the fabric and allows it to cool more rapidly. And look, it's dry to the touch, so there's no mess. Polar Snap is the perfect way to stay cool whether you're outside or in. It's perfect for working in the garden, watching the kids' games, or even working around the house. It's great for headaches, muscle and joint pains, even hot flashes.
Just in this amount of time, it has gone from steamy hot to cold. I can't believe it.
It doesn't even use any chemicals, just water, so it's safe for your whole family, even your pets. Experience it for yourself, and you'll be using Polar Snap everywhere, from the beach to cookouts to workouts to bike rides. The whole family is gonna love Polar Snap. And it's machine washable and reusable. You just wet it, wring it, and snap it. That is icy cool comfort that's gonna last for hours.
It's summer. It's hot. It's really hot. It's getting colder in my hand. That's ridiculous. This will be cool in the summer. All summer.
Wow, this really is cold.
I can go the whole 9 innings and be very cool. It's really amazing.
Even my dog loves Polar Snap.
When you call or go online, make sure you ask about the other available sizes and colors.
Don't fight the heat, snap it away with Polar Snap. Call now and we'll double your order for free. Just pay shipping and processing. Call 1-800-522-6003. That's 1-800-522-6003. Call or go online now.
She holds the modern record for most U.S. Open singles titles.
She would come out looking so pretty, and then she'd want to cut your throat.
For 2 decades, Chris Evert faced off against the greats of the game, from King to Austin to Navratilova.
I really zeroed in on Chris as the enemy because she was #1.
Never giving an inch.
It was going to be a big deal if she lost to anybody.
A special 1-hour episode, only at the Open. Chris Evert premieres tomorrow at 7 p.m., only on Tennis Channel, home of the Slams.
Stan Molest, the USTA president, with his wife Janie, looking on, and I'm sure very happy to know that there's been another 3-year deal with CBS, and we're happy about it too, that we'll be back here 3 more years.
Well, I'm tickled pink, Pat, because, you know, some people say Wimbledon's the best tournament in the world, but in the United States, this is it. Connors ready to serve with new balls from the far court. He leads 5 games to 4, and you see him showing Borg the new balls. It's not a rule, it's strictly etiquette.
No doubt about that one.
That ball's been used now.
Might be broken.
just wide.
Well, he's talking about Bjorn's racket and how tightly it's strung. How about Connors?
Yes, Pat. He's using a single extrusion racket, which means it's one piece of aluminum bent around a frame and then a handle stuck into it. And the racket he has is fairly flexible.
How tight might it be?
Oh, he's stringing his. I asked him when I was practicing with him about 58, 59. 15 gauge gut here on the clay court. That's going to drop in.
Oh, he just missed it.
So much for my prognostications, I guess.
Triple set point for Jimmy Connors. When you say 15 gauge, Arthur, quickly, is that thick or thin?
That's pretty thick. As you go up, 16 gauge is thinner. 17 gauge is even thinner.
Piano.
I've got some 17. Get ready for the Pacific Southwest in L.A. Indoors. That was a great shot and a recovery.
He's going to get there.
Get it, yes, he got it. Marvelous recovery by Jimmy Connors. And even sneaky, Segura had to get up and applaud that shot.
Connors did a great job to get to the ball. I don't think Borg thought he'd recover at all, so he didn't try to make too good a drop volley. Connors just slid the ball down the line into the open court.
6 games to 4.
Game and first set to Connors, 6-4. Borg to serve now. First game, second set. Tough serve.
More importantly, Pat, on that last shot by Connors, it's the only one-handed backhand I've ever seen him hit.
Actually, that was a four-hander. Went in on his in what would be our backhand side was his one-hander.
But when he came in to put the ball away, he hit it with the backhand and with one hand.
Right, you're right, coming in.
Connors having won the first set. And with his temper being considered, does he let down now or does he keep smoking?
Well, Connors, Pat, is a front runner. When he gets in front, he really pours it on. His confidence gets higher and higher.
Also, Pat, I think it's safe to say that you're in the finals of the U.S. Open Championships, one of the majors. You don't let down. These guys have been around too long, and they know that this match is a long way from being over. Too many things can happen, so they're going to stay geared up. Well, you talk about depth. Borg hit a topspin shot that landed right on the baseline. Connors hit it right back on the baseline.
I'd like to welcome those of you who've been watching the Minnesota Vikings against the New Orleans Saints to Forest Hills, New York, and the finals of the U.S. Open. Bjorn Borg against Jimmy Connors won the first set. 6 games to 4. Borg is serving 40-15.
I'm sure Hank Stram would have rather been here.
Depends on the outcome of the game.
Game for Mr. Borg.
Game to Borg. Connors strolls off. He won the first set 6-4, and Borg holds service in the first game of the second set. Beautiful day in New York. We're at Forest Hills.
To enjoy lifelike, room-filling sound, you used to need large, complicated equipment. Not with the Bose Wave music system. It's barely noticeable in your room until you turn it on.
You can hear everything, and it's just amazing that all that sound comes out of that little space.
The sound quality was just phenomenal.
Forbes FYI reports you'll think you're listening to a system that's 5 times more. And now also available in titanium silver. Inside, Bose waveguide speaker technology delivers room-filling sound.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the sound.
It's magic.
Just slide in a CD. Listen to FM, AM, connect your MP3 player, or add our optional multi-CD changer. Ask about making 12 easy payments with no interest charges from Bose. Order now for free shipping and hear it risk-free for 30 days. The Bose Wave Music System.
Once you've heard it, everything else just doesn't measure up.
Count down 5 of the most unforgettable moments in tennis history on each episode of Best of 5. Go to tennischannel.com for the complete schedule.
Tennis Channel presents Bag Check. Your look at all the gear the players are carrying around. Today on Bag Check, Julian Beneteau.
Hi, I'm Julian Beneteau, and this is my rackets. I played with this model 4 years now, powerful, and I have a lot of control with that. This is French energy bars. Sometimes I can eat like 3 or 4 bars during a match, and sometimes only 1, or sometimes none. Apricots and peach, and elastic for the shoulders and everything. To warm up like this, or to warm up my wrist. Some gloves to protect the hand of the blister when you're doing some gym. My iPod, I like to listen to some French music. It is my favorite soccer team, Olympique de Marseille, so it's always in my bag. This is Julian Beneteau, and this was my bag check. Thank you, bye-bye.
This has been Bag Check. Get bag checks on all your favorite players, only on Tennis Channel.
Hi, I'm Mary Pierce, and you're watching the home of tennis, Tennis Channel.
New York's Governor Carey looking on. Just took off the dark glasses so he could get a better look.
Saw him the other night, Pat, at the Roy Wilkins dinner, celebrating his 75th birthday. With Mrs. R.F. Kennedy there. Here we go. Love one, second set.
Connors won the first set. Best 3 of 5.
Man, I don't know what you have to do to win a point around here. Borg got tremendous depth throughout that point, eventually hit a ball that landed maybe 5 feet past the service line. And Connors just jumped all over it.
What's he just rub on his racket? Connors ready to serve. We'd like to welcome those of you who watch the Lions and the Bears, Chicago and Detroit, to some great tennis at Forest Hills. The finals of the U.S. Open between Borg and Connors. Packed house.
It didn't go over.
And Borg is...
That's the way the thing stands right now. Connors won the first set 6-4. Borg held serve in the first game of the second set, and Connors is serving now at 15-all.
And Pat Borg thought in that point that one of the balls Jimmy hit was over the baseline, but it's ancient history now, so... Here we go, 15-all. Love one.
What is that Borg keeps rubbing on the handle of his racket?
He takes some sawdust out of his pocket, rubs it on the handle. 30-15. I might mention here, Pat, about Bjorn's handle on his racket. It's halfway up the throat because he hits the ball with 2 hands. He just can't use a conventional racket handle. You see there's a good picture of it all the way up the throat almost.
Means you need a lot of extra sawdust, right?
Yes, he does.
A lot of extra leather, too.
You cut down a big tree.
Fru McMillan wraps his handles the same way. Hits the ball with 2 hands from both sides. Pronated a little too long that time.
In the first set, Connors made a lot more unforced errors than Borg. 21-7. Of course, that figures because he's the one that's been going for the winners, and he hit a lot more winners than Borg hit, and of course he won the first set 6-4. Both have gotten a high percentage of first serves in because they're not really hitting them all very hard, they're spinning them.
Score's 30 all. We'll change it right now. It's 40-30. And the second game of the second set.
Pat, that's the kind of an error that really bugs a player like Borg, who is very steady, very consistent. He wasn't really trying to do anything with the ball at all, just sort of get it cross court, and he just, you know, took his eye off. He's human.
Key to beating Jimmy Connors. If I could encapsulate the first set, topspin didn't work. Bjorn has to switch to underspin now. He has to, because it'll do two things. It'll keep the ball low, and it will take the pace off the ball. Jimmy Connors eats pace for breakfast.
He's lost about 20 pounds since last year.
I don't think he lost that much. I think that was an exaggeration. No question, Jimmy's in the zone. He just knows where he is and where the ball's going.
Take a look at that again, and we'll watch how Connors rips the one hand. That ball, as you see, it could skid right past Borg, which meant it hit on the line. It accelerates and stays lower. Now we're back to live action advantage, Connors.
So what else is new?
Well, you know, an interesting shot as far as I'm concerned, because so often when you have a player that deep, Connors would be inside the court, but not Jimmy. A lot of players would try to drop shot that ball and perhaps miss it or give it away, but instead he had a ball to pump. He hit it well and won the point and the game. So it's 1-all Borg serving the second set.
15 love.
In spite of the fact that it's Connors and Borg in the finals, I think the story and the man most people talked about during this championship was Nastase. And he's going to be featured tonight, an interview with Mike Wallace on 60 Minutes on CBS. Nastase, by the way, should have some interesting things to say. He indicated yesterday after his loss
understatement of the year.
that he might not come back to Forest Hills again.
He'll be back, Pat. He'll be back here with bells on.
That's the only thing he didn't do this year.
I hope he doesn't listen, because if he did, he probably will bring those bells.
It was 30 love. Games are 1-all second set. Connors won the first set.
Tony, I don't know why Bjorn doesn't switch to underspin. Can't figure it out right now. He has to.
He's so accustomed going over the ball.
But he can hit it with underspin. I've seen him do it.
He can on the two-handed side, but it's hard to I'm sure, make that radical a change, Arthur. He really likes to go over it.
But it's not really what you like to do. It's what you have to do to win. Right in the corner again.
Absolutely incredible. Of course, excuse me. You and the viewing audience who've been watching the Eagles and the Cowboys, Philadelphia and Dallas, welcome to Forest Hills. The finals of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships between Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg. Connors won the first set 6-4. Games are 1-all in the second set, and the score is 30-all.
That's a perfect example of what I mean again, Tony. The ball was hit with underspin, deep. The ball didn't rise above Jimmy's kneecaps.
Right. My only point would be, Arthur, that Borg lost the first at 6-4, which is close, and they're 1-all. It's not like he's being annihilated. So, you know, if you just keep it going, maybe a tide will turn. He's not really being dominated.
I think Jimmy's can play, but Jimmy guessed right.
Jimmy Connors down 1-2 in the second set now. He won the first set 6-4. And you're looking down on the West Side Tennis Club, Forest Hills, New York.
Second set.
Gentlemen, you booked your hotels on Orbitz. Well, the price went down, so you're all getting a check for the difference.
Yeah, thanks.
Except for you. You didn't book with Orbitz. You're not getting a check. Well, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson today. Good day, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Introducing Hotel Price Assurance, where if another Orbitz customer books the same hotel for less, we send you a check automatically.
What do you do if you get a spill like this all over your kitchen floor? This is a whole can of soda. I'll tell you, you reach for the smart mop. Watch this. To wring it out, all you do is you lift and you twist. You never bend your back and your hands never touch the dirty water. Unwind it, drop it down, and you're ready to go. Now, it's made of synthetic chamois, and it will hold and absorb up to 10 times its own weight in liquid. And the best part is, it doesn't drip. And to prove it, I'll hold it over my head. You can see, no drips. And in these tough times, wring it back into the glass, and it's ready to drink all over. Sand on the kitchen floor. Ketchup to make it worse. Even mustard to make it really bad. You could just push it under the fridge, or you could pick it up with a smart mop. Watch as it picks up the sand, the dirt, the dust, the ketchup, the mustard. No sweeping and no vacuuming. It cuts your cleaning time in half. The proof is stuck to the mop. It cleans in seconds, and the head's a machine, and they last up to 3 years, not 3 minutes. Save money on paper towels? That's cash in the trash. The smart mop will replace string mops, sponge mops. It'll even replace a broom. The smart mop works on tile, and if you've got wood, you'll love it even more. And nothing picks up pet hair like the smart mop. So take your head out of the toilet and step up to the smart mop. Call now and you'll get the smart mop for just $20. We'll even include 3 super chamois cloths with your order. Get spills on counters and suck stains out of carpets. You've seen them on TV and they're yours free. But spend $20 with me today and I'll spend $20 with you. Call now and I'll give you a second set free. You'll get 2 smart mops and 6 super chamois cloths, a $50 value, all for just $20. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-220-7631. That's 1-800-220-7631. You'll get 2 smart mops and 6 super shaming cloths, all for $20. Just pay processing and handling. So don't delay. Call 1-800-220-7631. Call now.
Next Sunday on CBS is a doubleheader day. The second game, the Rams against the Vikings up in Minnesota. Not too shabby. Along with all the other regional games around the country, check your local newspapers for the listings of what game you'll be able to see. But the big one, Los Angeles at the Vikings.
There'll be some thunder on that one.
I'll be up there to witness.
And lightning also.
Got a lot of that right here. Connors against Borg.
Tony, we've got to throw in here what Arantes did so well last year, I think. Which Bjorn is just not doing here. Just hitting nothing balls, no pace, underspin to Jimmy, floating them back deep.
Arantes, of course, won in straight sets after Connors had won the year before. He says he's tired of hearing about that.
Tenseness here.
First time that Connors has really missed a couple of balls in a row, and particularly that badly. He missed them quite long.
This point might test his mettle. Either way you'd care to spell that word.
Game in Green Bay is over between the 49ers and the Packers. And we'd like to welcome all of you who've been watching that game to the U.S. Open Finals between Connors and Borg. Connors won the first set 6-4. He's down 1-2 in the second set.
The Iceman comes through. What a great point.
Let's take that again if you want to see quick hand, quick reflexes.
One stab by Connors. It's short. Borg rips it cross court. Connors guessed right. Didn't get quite enough on it. This is really the easy ball, and Connors misses into the net, and it's triple break point for Connors. I'm sorry, for Borg as we come back live. 1-2, love 40. Second set, Connors won the first set 6-4.
Not disagree.
15-40.
Well, the few times he's even glanced anywhere except at Connors.
You can look down about 1 yard inside the baseline.
Right.
You look like the mark caught part of the inside of the line. The majority of the mark is inside the line. No question about it. One thing about Borg and Connors, they seldom argue about a call. If they do, you think they have some justification. Still double break point for Borg.
Bjorn Borg has broken serve. He now leads 3 games to 1. Second set.
Game for Mr. Borg. Mr. Borg leads 3 games to 1. Second set.
Tony, what has happened here with Jimmy is that he had been playing at such a high plane, such a high level of excellence, that he's having a momentary lapse now. It's natural and normal. That's going to be out.
Out. 15 love.
I've often commented how difficult it is to stay on the baseline and have your opponent coming to the net all the time. You have to make the passing shot, make the good shot. It's also difficult to stay on the backcourt in this kind of a surface and keep hitting winners.
30 love.
Connors won the first set 6-4, but Borg looking stronger and stronger.
Certainly starting to serve harder.
That young man you're looking at is the Wimbledon champion, WCT champion, just won the U.S. Pro Championships.
Should be quite a year for him, wouldn't it?
It already is.
Yeah.
That was quite a point for Connors. You know, Tony, if Bjorn wins this match, he's undisputably the best player in the world in 1976. If Connors wins this match, then it's up in the air. We'll have to wait till the Masters. But prestige-wise, Wimbledon is still #1. Barstill's #2.
30-40.
And break point for Connors. We had 3 breaks in the first set. Connors won at 6-4. Borg has the only break in the second set. He's serving at 3-1, but he's down a break point.
Tony, I wonder what you might think. Arthur, as he just said, considers Wimbledon still the #1 tournament in the world. What do you think?
Well, I think overall, Pat, people think that way. I always felt that winning Forest Hills was a little more difficult than winning at Wimbledon. Perhaps I felt that way because I'm an American and trying to win your own national championships, but they're both tremendously prestigious tournaments.
You'll take either one?
Any day.
I certainly will. tape. Didn't quite go over.
Advantage, Borg.
1 point away from 4-1 in the second. Yes.
Marvelous touch.
I'm surprised, Tony, that Jimmy hadn't been doing that more, because Bjorn is standing about 2 yards behind the baseline.
I think one of the reasons is that heavy topspin makes the ball jump up quickly, but Connors, as in the case of Chris Everett, can disguise it off that forehand aside because they take the racket above the flight of the ball sometimes to sort of under it. That way, to make the drop shot is more difficult to read.
Perhaps another reason is a point Arthur made yesterday, and that is that Borg moves so very well.
I don't know if anybody moves better.
Yeah.
Nastasi, of course. Naturally so.
How about this? Connors won the first set and seemed to be in command. Score was 6-4. In the second set, it is 4-1 Borg.
Mr. Borg leads.
Dude, that was sick. I've been hanging up there for, what, like 40 years? And then wham, here I am, smacking the pretty off that windshield of yours. Oh, what, you looking for an apology? Well, toss another coin in the wishing well, pal. It's not happening. Hey, what's up, Donnie? How you been?
Accidents are bad, but Geico's good with on-site windshield replacement.
Are you ready for your best tennis yet? At Tennis Express, we have the latest gear and apparel so you can play and look your best. Demo any of our rackets. Find the one that's right for you.
I travel a lot for work, and what I love about TennisExpress.com is I can surf the web late at night, order the latest gear, and it's on my doorstep the next morning. What a store.
Get same-day free shipping, free stringing, and no tax on orders shipped outside Texas. We deliver tennis worldwide. Front door. Hablamos Español.
She was America's sweetheart with a killer instinct on the court.
I was willing to just stay out there all day to win the point.
Only at the Open, Chris Everett premieres tomorrow at 7 p.m.
You could have perfect preparation and movement, but if your contact point is off, you'll have no power behind your shot. Here's a few tips for you. I like to think like a boxer. If I was to hit somebody, I'd want to hit him right about here, not here. So I feel like on the volley, you have to think like a boxer and try to hit the ball close to your body so you can use your body and your arm to get the most power. Here you'll see there's no power. He's hitting the ball way out in front and way to the side of him, and there's nothing on the volley at all. So what we'll try to do to correct it is make sure that his arm isn't completely extended. So you see now, he has the bent arm, a lot of pace on the ball, ball's next to it. He's giving it the knockout punch. Perfect. So remember, think like a boxer and your shots will have plenty of punch.
For more one-minute clinics, go to tennischannel.com/OMC.
Where else would we be?
CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. An action-packed show, the World Junior Middleweight Championship, featuring almost the legendary Emil Griffith against the defending champion Eckhart Dagi of West Germany. That's live from West Berlin. Also the $150,000 added Woodward handicap for 3-year-olds, as well as the Dutch Grand Prix next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Halftime score in the NFL. San Diego 30, Kansas City 16. Surprising there.
Sounds like great in that game.
Yeah.
Halftime score. 46 points on the scoreboard.
Right here, it's Bjorn Borg against Jimmy Connors. Connors serving 1-4 in the second set. He won the first set 6-4.
That's bad luck for Borg.
15
Borg had what would have been a very difficult ball for Connors to handle. It would have been low over that net. Instead, it caught the tape and bounced up and made a simple shot for Connors to knock away.
Pat, now Jimmy's trying to find the range again. He's lost it momentarily, but I think he has decided that the way to find it is to keep hitting rather than start all over again and play safe. That's going to drop in. Tony, did the shadows bother you when you started to play? Because the shadows are definitely starting to creep across the court, and I would say about a half an hour, it'll be all over the court.
I think it's tough. I'm sure it's just like baseball. That ball will come in and out of darkness when that shadow comes out on the court more. It's coming into that backhand corner on Connors' side now.
They're going to turn the lights on at 6 o'clock, so that ought to help alleviate that. So it over a half hour from now. But right now, Connors, when he's on the left side of the court from which he's playing, is hitting out of the shadows into the sunlight. And that's tough.
I don't think it's a big problem right now, Pat, because the shadow is not far enough in front where the ball leaves that bright light and comes into the sort of the darkness, but won't be long until it'll be much more difficult.
It's 40-30.
40-30.
Connors serving at 1-4 in the second set. It's a best 3 of 5 for the championship at Forest Hills, the U.S. Open Championship.
Put it in again. Or contre-pied, as they say in Paris.
Actually, that was an extra good volley by Borg because Connors really hit the two-hander hard, and normally you want to get out in front of that thing and try to go cross-court, but Borg went back down the line for a winner, so it's deuce. Break point for Borg. We'll take a look at that again. Now you see Connors has Borg stretched out, but he rolls it down the line and keeps it low. Watch Connors stretched out right off the shoe tops and hits it into the net. Back live, it's break point Borg.
Right on the line.
Oh, brother.
I wanted to add, Tony, that in that last point when Bjorn hit that passing shot over, for the sake of the viewers, he did not really try to pass Jimmy. He just tried over the net to get Jimmy to volley the ball up to give himself another shot at it. And that's exactly what happened, but Jimmy missed the point. We're back at deuce.
I'm amazed at how well both these players, which I guess you would expect of players of this caliber, how they watch the ball. Do you actually see the ball hit the racket?
Pat, when we get a time about 30 seconds, we're going to talk about eyesight.
I can answer quickly. You do not see the ball hit the racket. Try as you may. A Leica camera might, but you're not going to with the eyes we have.
Got onto that one. Right here, Tony, I was going to ask if you were superstitious when you played. Were you ever superstitious? Did you have any nervous tics? I'm going to talk about the nervous tics of Bjorn and Jimmy in a few minutes. And
I really was not superstitious.
you didn't twitch your head or bat your eyelashes or
I
whatever?
might have twitched a lot, but that was from superstition. Nervousness, perhaps. I would describe myself as a grinder. I was competitive. I was stubborn. I tried to prepare as well as I could off the court and just do the best I could on the court. And I didn't believe in four-leaf clovers. Dirty Love.
No doubt about that one.
Borg leads 4 games to 2 in the second set as you look out from underneath the marquee.
Nothing like a full house. We've seen a lot of them. So Bjorn Borg is 1 point away from taking a 5-2 lead in the second set. Connors won the first set 6 games to 4. This is a best of 5 sets.
Now Connors standing in those shadows we were talking about.
Well, Jimmy has made certain he's going to go down swinging if he does go down in this game.
We've never seen him do anything else, though, really, have we?
I was going to say, that shouldn't surprise you.
Of course, you're never the cutest player around either. You sort of bore at it, don't you?
I was never one to temporize, no. I sort of went for the lines.
So Borg leads 5 games to 2 in the second set. Connors won the first set, 6-4.
Tennisplayer.net, the world's leading tennis magazine. High-speed video analysis from John Yandel. In-depth articles from the world's best coaches. Technique, footwork, strategy, cross-training, the mental game, and more. A revolutionary stroke archive to study pro tennis, frame by frame. Analysis of your strokes. Tennisplayer.net. Take the free tour. Subscribe today. Tennisplayer.net.
Now more than ever, when it comes to saving money, you have the power. Buying power. Now you can buy direct from the source at the Direct Buy Club, the home improvement and furnishings club with direct insider prices. Did you know the average markup on home furnishings alone is 44%? But at the Direct Buy Club, you won't pay the traditional markups you would at retail stores. This is your invitation to join the over 400,000 Direct Buy Club members who say no to the cost of retail markups. Some people always know how to find the best deals. They've learned how to stop giving their money away.
With the help of the design team from Direct Buy, we're able to provide ourselves with this dream kitchen. All the cabinets are made of cherry hardwood. If we would have gone to a retail store, it would have cost us close to $36,000. And we purchased it for $18,643.
One of the estimates that we had gotten was $10,000 to redo this small bathroom. It's not that big of a bathroom, and I think that it ended up costing us, with everything, including labor, under $3,000.
How does the Direct Buy Club do this? Direct Buy is not a store. It's a private club where members get direct access to over 700 name brand manufacturers. The brands you trust, the latest models, all with full manufacturer warranties.
We had shopped all over looking for bedroom sets. We were going to pay up to $10,000 for a bedroom set.
At Direct Buy, we got this 5-piece set, $34.53.
Call now and we'll send you a free visitor's pass to attend an upcoming Direct Buy Club open house. You'll also receive our Insider's Guide to Buying Direct, full of the inside information retailers don't want you to know.
I do not see Tina Wiggum ever shopping retail for anything again.
For your free visitor's pass and your Insider's Guide to Buying Direct, call 1-800-750-4740. 1-800-750-4740. Online at mydirectbuyclub.com.
It's legend versus legend in a showdown that can only happen in Atlanta World Team Tennis. John McEnroe and the New York Sport Times take on Martina Navratilova and the Boston Lobsters in a special match benefiting the Randall's Island Sports Foundation in New York City. The superstars are fighting for the cause and holding nothing back as they lead their teams in the battle for victory. Atlanta World Team Tennis premieres Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Tennis Channel, home of the Slams.
USDA in New York.
Back at Forest Hills, U.S. Open Championships with Arthur Ashe and Tony Trabert. This is Pat Summerall. Jimmy Connors to serve from the far court. Bjorn Borg in the near court. Borg leads 5 games in the second set. That was just out. Connors won the first set. In the event you might have just joined us, 6 games to 4. And looked very strong in doing so.
You know, I can't help but think about seeing Lloyd Bridges there. He plays tennis every day when he's not working and just loves it. Darn good player, too. Likes to poach.
Don't we all? Ego builder.
Double fault, and that is number 1 in this entire match.
Now, Pat, I hear at this juncture expect some bad calls from the linesmen because those shadows really play havoc with line calls.
That is to be 8 feet behind the baseline
and hit a winner.
And hit a winner on this kind of a surface, particularly any surface really, but when it's on a slow bouncing surface, that is something else.
Well, Tony, it's the racket. Those single extrusion metal rackets can do that. And most of the major manufacturers have rackets like that, so
where can I get one?
Do you promise they'll keep them in the court?
Just back.
20-15.
You know, Pat, you did a special, I know, or a little thing on Rene Lacoste. He invented the racket that Connors is using, and when I was living in France in the early 60s in Paris, I tested that racket before it was picked up by one of the U.S. manufacturers. What a great man that Rene Lacoste is.
50 years ago, he won this championship. 1926. And still plays.
On that one. He saw the daylight to Borg's forehand and he rushed it.
It's 40-30.
I still think he'd be better off coming over that kind of a shot rather than coming under it.
I think he's very indecisive right now. He's really not sure what to do. He's been playing the same way. Bjorn, much to my amazement, hasn't changed his game, but he's winning this set. That looked wide to me, but I guess, and Jimmy is looking at it.
He looks back.
Well, ancient history now. You're looking at the nervous twitches of Jimmy now. He pulls up his shirt sleeves, even if it doesn't need pulling up.
Like one thing you can always do is watch the player and tell. Jimmy took a didn't say anything, and so he saw the mark and knew it was good.
Advantage, Borg.
Set point for Bjorn Borg.
Jimmy sees some more feet under the canvas back there now. Tony, I think Jimmy may change rackets pretty soon. It's getting cooler. The court's getting faster.
He can't get to that one.
I think he might go to a more tightly strung racket if it gets a little cooler because the balls get harder. No more water will be put on this court, so the court's going to get faster.
But as it cools down, the balls are not going to get harder. Are they going to get a little softer?
They
get
play
hot,
with them a while. Yes. I probably stand corrected there.
Now advantage Connors.
Didn't see that one. Borg never got his racket into that one.
Connors holds serve, and it's 5-3 in the second set. Connors won the first set. Borg leads 5-3 in the second.
Second set.
You know, I just sitting here watching this. Look at the score, Minnesota.
Maybe you're right about Hangstrom. He would have rather been here. Chicago beat the... How about that? Cleveland 38, the Jets 17. San Francisco over Bart Starr's Packers. Borg and Connors, in the meantime, are just about even.
He missed it.
Out. Called out.
Jimmy's going to try to take a look at the mark. Borg is coming up to take a look.
And that mark is right by a shadow.
Bjorn is not so sure himself.
Well, the umpire, John Coleman from Los Angeles, might be asking the linesman to come take a look.
We'll take a look and see if we can tell. It's very difficult always on the replay.
Can't tell.
No, you really can't tell. You can't tell whether the ball is just crossing over the line or what. At any rate, Borg has gotten the point.
Borg is serving at 5-3 in the second set. The score is 15-all. Connors in the first set.
Crowd didn't like that one.
That was
Pretty
Frank
close.
Hammond on the service line, one of the best officials you'll find anywhere. Connors not putting the pace on the ball that he was earlier.
There's Frank. Frank Hammond, that is, on the service line.
Wearing yellow glasses.
Imagine he'll be taking those off pretty soon.
Well, I think he sees the ball better, probably Pat, when the shadows come on the court. Big point here. And we start again.
Second set.
40-30.
What an example of what a good lob can do for you. Borg was in trouble. He made a good lob. Connors was able to smash but not do enough with it.
It was out.
Games to 3. Connors won the first one 6-4, so it's 1-all in the finals at Forest Hill.
If anyone depends on you, listen to this important message. 3 out of 4 Americans know they need life insurance. Many who have it know they don't have enough. Sound like you? How would your family get by without you? Would they lose their home or their dreams of a good education? They don't have to. You can guarantee those you love $200,000, $500,000, $750,000 or more with life insurance through Matrix Direct. We'll help you get more for your money, up to 70% more. Just look, less than $17 a month buys a 40-year-old man a $250,000 term life policy. That's up to 3 times what you can get from other companies for the same price. No wonder millions of Americans have already contacted Matrix Direct. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation. Make the future more secure for those you love. Call now so you can sleep better at night.
Call 1-800-574-0063 or visit matrixdirect.com. That's 1-800-574-0063 or matrixdirect.com.
Count down 5 of the most unforgettable moments in tennis history on each episode of Best of 5. Go to tennischannel.com for the complete schedule. We've all seen our favorite tennis stars lose the first set and then come back to win the match. It's about making adjustments, and nobody does it better than the pros.
First mentality is to try to figure out what happened, how you lost it, whether it was just 1 or 2 bad points, whether it was them playing incredible, whether it was a bad strategy, or what it was. And if it's some sort of strategical thing, you got to go back and maybe fix it and go to plan B.
You just got to regroup. You want to think, try to think, not think too much, but try to think a little bit about what you did wrong, what your opponent did well, then try to use that to your advantage in the second set. You got to put it behind you. You got to have a short memory out there.
You need to try to change some of the things, maybe technically, maybe tactically, so you come back in the match and hopefully win that second set, fight hard, and then get that third one as well.
Hi, I'm Novak Djokovic, and you're watching Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
How about this? Borg admitted that at this stage in their rivalry, he often felt intimidated by Connors, not just by Jimbo's relentless depth and pace, but also by his over-the-top intensity. Let's get you back to Tennis Channel's broadcast of the 1976 U.S. Open men's singles final between Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg.
Sets are 1-all at Forest Hill. 16,253 in attendance today. That's a new record. Total attendance of 250,880 for the entire tournament. Tops the old record by more than 34,000. Would lead one to believe that tennis has arrived.
Somebody is doing something right. And they've turned the lights on, Pat.
They all came to see us. Lights probably will help a little bit, alleviate that shadowy condition, but they really don't seem to have too much of an effect. Sets are 1-all. Connors serving first game, third set. Here he goes.
He's changing rackets.
Well, he's broken a string, and he was looking at it earlier, and like a string was getting thin, and sure enough, he's broken it. Got some stats from the last set. Actually, the first 2 sets, Connors getting 67% of his first serves in, Borg 72. Unforced errors, Connors is very, very high, 24 off the forehand, 21 off the backhand, compared to 7 off the forehand and 11 off the backhand for Borg. So Borg, the more consistent off the ground, Connors hitting more outright winners.
And right now, it's love 30. The first game of set number 3. It's the best 3 out of 5 sets. Connors having problems.
Tennis triple break point for Borg.
Broke him in the first game of the third set. Bjorn Borg. Sets are 1-all. He leads 1 game to love in the third set at Forest Hill.
If you've got one of these, you probably use these to keep them healthy. But why? When you can get these. They're exactly the same brand name medications, but these cost a lot less because they're from 1-800-PET-MEDS. With 1-800-PET-MEDS, you save a trip to the vet too, because they're delivered free, right to your door, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Millions of pet owners trust 1-800-PET-MEDS for fast service, free shipping, and big savings. Call now or order online from 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy.
If you think a clean windshield is too much of a stretch, if you think a clean windshield is just out of reach, you need the Windshield Wonder. The Windshield Wonder makes cleaning windshields, side and rear windows, even hard-to-reach interior glass, faster and easier than ever before. The Windshield Wonder combines a microfiber cleaning bonnet with an ergonomic handle and a unique pivoting head to make windshield cleaning fast and so easy you don't even need glass cleaner. That's right, the Windshield Wonder cleans and shines glass with plain tap water. Amazing!
Oh, no question. When you detail a car, the inside windshield is always the toughest part. But now that we're using the Windshield Wonder, it's the easiest part.
The Windshield Wonder is perfect for wiping away moisture and condensation too, for better visibility and safer driving. But that's not all. Take the Windshield Wonder inside to clean mirrors, windows, and more. Dust dining tables and buffets without bending and reaching. Keep shower doors shining like new. And that hard-to-clean top of the fridge? The Windshield Wonder makes it a cinch to reach every inch. And when you're through, just wash the bonnets and they're good as new.
I was spending a lot of money on disposable dusting sheets, but with the Windshield Wonder, I can wash and reuse the bonnets. So I'm saving time and I'm saving money.
Your Windshield Wonder order includes the handle, 2 microfiber bonnets, a microfiber towel, a spray bottle, even a handy storage pouch. Everything you see here, a $20 value for only $10. But wait, call now, and as an added bonus, we'll double your order. Just pay separate shipping and handling. That's 2 complete Windshield Wonder kits, one for the car and one for almost every surface in your home. A $40 value for only $10. So don't delay. Order the Windshield Wonder today.
To order by credit card, call 1-800-973-9853. You'll get a complete second set as a bonus with today's orders, so call 1-800-973-9853. That's 1-800-973-9853.
The NFL kicked off its 57th year today. San Diego 30, Kansas City 16. Houston shut out the new Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-0. Halftime score there, 10-3 St. Louis over Seattle. Bjorn Borg serving near court. Connors up at the top of the picture. Now sets are 1-all. Borg broke Connors in the first game of the third set. And lately he has been much more consistent.
I just hope you remember that I picked Borg to win.
I do remember that.
Don't want to say I told you so in about 2 hours.